beautiful day out, and I am on an island in the middle of nowhere. I am sitting on this little bench that somebody built, paddleboard out here. And if you can see those buildings out in the distance, that's where I came from. I actually was trying to go to that island over there, but I wanted to record this, and there was people over there. So I felt like awkward, like, you know, but so the last video I made, I talked about all these bad things that were happening. I was having a really bad day. My car broke down, and I talked about some of my coping mechanisms. That was probably about 3 weeks ago, maybe even a month ago. My car is fixed now. Everything worked out okay. I'm back in the Jeep lifing. That ain't a cheap life, that Jeep life. But I made it through that. That night that I made that video, I had a friend on Facebook send me a message and ask me about my relationship with God. He pointed out that I talked about things tools that I used to get through hard times, which I've had a slew of these last 6 months. Just really, it's kind of ridiculous. It's not normal. And he pointed out that I didn't mention prayer, or, I didn't mention using God to get through hard times. And he asked me about my relationship with Jesus Christ. And to be honest with you, I was kind of annoyed and like, oh geez, like here we go. I don't really want to be preached to. Just to give you a little background, I grew up Mormon, and I left the Mormon church when I was about 17 years old and became a Christian, and went to a non-denominational church for a lot of years. Kind of went in and out of being what I considered to be a strong Christian. Got into a relationship where the person I was with was a really strong Christian, and it strengthened my faith. But after that relationship ended, there was just a lot of things kind of going wrong again, and I started getting close to a friend who was of New Age beliefs, and a very strong, amazing person who taught me a lot and helped me believe in myself in a lot of ways. But at that time, I was pretty strong in my, I thought I was pretty strong in my faith in Jesus Christ, and hanging out with him all the time, going on these awesome adventures, and just hearing him talk about his beliefs. I started to do research for myself and started to learn about the law of attraction, and I started to question that there was a Jesus, that, I feel bad even saying this, because it's like, it's hard to imagine that I really got to that place. But I'm glad that I went through that because of how I feel now. So this is like it's hard to put this all into a video that's not like 5 hours long, and I'm trying to tell this story and talking to a phone on an island all by myself, and it's like a little bit like different for me because I'm not still used to YouTube and like talking to a phone. I'm kind of better with like one-on-one conversations, but I felt so strongly like I need to make this, and I felt strongly like I needed to make the YouTube videos that I made about all these hard times, and I thought about deleting them because it's just like a bunch of bad things happening in my life. Like, do I really want to put that stuff out there? And now I'm glad that I did. So let's go back. I rambled a lot. So my friend, he's probably gonna watch this video. What's up, dude? Talking about you. Asked me about my relationship with Jesus Christ, and I responded to him and decided to listen to what he had to say, and responded to him kind of in defense that I do have a relationship with God, and I do believe in Jesus, but I'm kind of more of the belief that you know, that God is love, and we're all a part of God, and God is within us, like we're God. Even though I didn't fully believe that, and saying that, it never truly resonated with me. My arm is kind of starting to hurt holding this thing up, but there's no place for me to put my phone. Ow! Hold on, I'm gonna switch arms. It never truly resonated with me to where I could say that and felt like peace. It just never did. So I told him that, and he said that, you know, he felt a little bit better hearing that I did have some awareness, and I did believe in Jesus, and he said that he just felt like these things happening in my life, they aren't just normal things. Cars breaking down constantly, phones. I didn't even mention the fact that I dropped one of my phones into the Myakka River, which is filled with alligators. That was a new phone that broke down. It just stopped working. My laptop stopped working. Anyway, these aren't normal things. Like, these are big things. This is kind of a big deal. Like, you need these things in life. And he felt that they were attacks on me, and that opening my heart up to Jesus Christ and coming to God and asking for his protection in my life, and to cast out this negativity that's going on, is essential. It's crucial in my life right now. And I went from feeling kind of defensive to feeling overwhelmed with emotion, and I felt just chills come over me. I don't even know if chills is the right word, because it was more warm. It was like a rush from my head to my toes, just of joy, and I felt like a little crack opened in my heart. And I didn't tell him that, and he told me that before I even had a chance to tell him, he told me that in sending me these messages, he felt overwhelmed with emotion and got teary-eyed and felt a rush come over him, which was really crazy to me. And at that point, shifted everything. It just shooketh my world. I was shook. So I did a little bit of praying that night, but I was still caught up in all of this stuff that was going on, and I felt disappointed that all this stuff was happening. But I felt, I felt encouraged from that, and a little bit of hope kind of come over me. The next day, I just felt confused, and like, even though I had a little bit of hope from that conversation, it was upsetting in a way to me because I thought that I was on the right track. And I just was really confused, and I asked God, if you are real, if Jesus is real, if you are my Father, somebody who is what the Bible says he is, if Jesus is real, if the Bible is real, I need you to show me, give me some kind of sign that you're there and that you're listening to me. And so I decided to start making another YouTube video, which I had to delete because I needed storage on my phone to post this one, to make a new one. And I just started talking because I didn't feel comfortable talking to anybody about this yet. I didn't even know how to put it. I was just still processing it, and I'm kind of somebody that I have to process things before I talk about it. I'm not just like, I can't just talk about things until I know how I feel. So I just started talking on this YouTube video, and I started to kind of speak out the words that all the times that I needed God, that I felt lost or scared or confused. Every time I called out to him, he was there, and I felt his embrace. I felt his spirit with me, and I knew I wasn't alone, and I knew it was specifically Jesus Christ. And I started to get emotional, and my voice cracked, and I just felt like, yes, like it's true. I just felt it in my heart. Like, I don't know how to explain it, you know? Just a peace come over me. And that was the start of my heart opening up to Jesus Christ again. I don't think it was that night. I think it was a couple nights later. I haven't really talked about this in any of my videos, and I don't really want to go too much into it because it's a long story. I'll talk about it eventually, but over the last year and a half, maybe even 2 years, I've had a lot of health issues, like stomach problems. Got to the point where I really couldn't eat hardly anything, and it's gotten so much better over the years. I have tried every single kind of different diet and every supplement, and I haven't had health insurance, so I've had to figure this out on my own. I prayed to God so many times to heal me of this, but after all of this stuff was going on, a couple days after I made that video, I was cleaning my house, and I started asking God why he hasn't healed me yet. And I wasn't kneeling in prayer, I was just cleaning and just talking. And all of a sudden I get a text message from my mom, and it's 10 verses, 10 Bible verses, and 5 of them are specifically about food and health. And God wanting you to, I'll put some of the verses down in the description because I can't remember exactly what they said. But basically, God wanting you to enjoy food, and I haven't been able to enjoy food. And I love food. I haven't been able to, really. And I got these very specific verses about God wanting us to enjoy food and about healing. And as I read them, I started getting kind of emotional, and I had my Spotify on because I have music on 24/7. And this song ended, and it was a song that I don't even have on my Spotify list. Where the Healing Begins, or This Is Where the Healing Begins. And I'll put that in the description too. And it was basically a song saying God's here and this is where your healing begins. This is where your healing starts. When you come to God broken, the light meets the dark. And I just started crying my eyes out. There's been quite a few moments like this since this experience, since the last time I made that video about having a bad day. And I started watching this guy's video, Nathan Wheeler, his YouTube videos. He actually flatlined and had a near-death experience, and a lot of what he said, it really resonated with me, and he just speaks from such a truthful place. And he has this Bible study. It's honestly like extensive, and I have read the Bible not from front to back, but just like cherry picking here and there. I'll flip it open when I need a little bit of encouragement, and like, oh, let's go here, which is absolutely a wonderful way to read the Bible sometimes, but I think it's really important to understand it, to read it from cover to cover. When I was practicing these New Age beliefs and getting really into it, I was reading a lot more about science, about aliens, about metaphysics, and I loved it. And I love science, and I love facts, and I love history, and I want truth in my life. I want to understand the Bible. I want it to fit and resonate with me on a level that I feel like also can fit into science in some ways. There were some things like the timeline of the Bible and the timeline of the earth scientifically that didn't make sense to me. And as I'm reading Genesis and doing this Bible study, this online Bible study, Genesis like 1 to 5 is his first video, and it's like 2 hours long. And you would think, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can watch 2 hours long of 5 chapters describing 5 chapters of Genesis. It's so fascinating and so fitting, and it answers so many questions that I'm actually like I'm in reading it like it's a novel, like it's like the most interesting book I've ever read. It's so dramatic and crazy. It's really amazing and inspiring, and I'm excited to learn more about it. That's where I'm at. I can tell you that I believe 100% that Jesus is real. I claim him as my Savior, and I want to go more into what I believed with the New Age beliefs, and go into have a conversation, talk about some of those beliefs, and talk about what it says in the Bible. And I want to have conversations, so please feel free to leave comments about what you're going through, about questions. And I'm not coming from a place of judgment in any way, and I have a lot of friends who have all different kinds of beliefs, and I just want to let you know, friends and family, that I love you, and I'm definitely not coming from any kind of place of judgment. I love you exactly as you are and what you believe in, and I don't judge you. So please feel free to bring topics up that I can talk about and we can discuss, and maybe I'll start doing some live videos too, but I don't have all the answers. I'm still finding them, but this is where I'm at, and yeah, I am excited, and I have a joy in my heart that I didn't have before. I felt like I thought I understood God and love, and I actually felt so alone in this world. The more that I got into this new age spirituality, I just felt more alone, like nothing really matters, and this life does matter, and you matter, and I matter, and God is there with you, loving you more than anybody could ever love you in this life. I'm just gonna leave it at that because I'm at 20 minutes now. This is a really long video. There's so much more that I have to say, but I'll continue making videos, and I hope that this touched your heart and maybe made you not feel so alone. If you were feeling alone or feeling confused, I hope I didn't confuse you more. But that's it. So thank you for watching, and I'm gonna let you take another look at this beautiful, beautiful spot that I was led to. Ugh, so beautiful and gorgeous. There's my board, still hanging strong there, the edge. All right, bye.